He made some big time plays. I thought from a pass game perspective, his last couple drives, I thought receivers were dialed. Vele goes down and Kevin pops in there and makes some plays, and so I thought it was big time. I felt like our guys executed really well. Positive gains allow you to play with some tempo and some urgency, and I thought our guys executed really well in those situations. Tyler? Yeah. I think just his steadiness. His steadiness is really special. I think it's really important to play the quarterback position in this league. There's a lot of hard downs, and so you're not going to convert every single one of them. Your ability to kind of go from one to the next and take advantage of the opportunities presented. Again, you made some big time plays in this game. Yeah, I think just executing at a really high level and understanding the situational aspect. There was a lot of situational plays that came up towards the end of this game, and so for him to execute at that high of a level, I thought credit to him and really the entire offense and defense, the big time stop, obviously special teams executing, and Charlie finishing it off the way that it was. Sorry. Yeah, just really steady. I think credit to him. Games take different flows. His ability to kind of stay right in it, be ready to go. Opportunities will come their way. It's kind of a cycle. It felt like, Vay made a bunch of plays early. Then CO kind of came alive. Kevin hopped in there and made some plays. Tip got some plays involved. I thought it was just all those guys were executing really well. And I think it shows, Tyler's just trusting the progression. Whoever's open, and playing the play. Yeah, it's just been awesome. Resiliency for our guys. Obviously the season, we're not going to be able to go to the playoffs this year, but we are building something really special, doing it the right way. Every single guy in that locker room, the way they prepare and compete and stay together through each and every experience. The last 2 weeks have been an awesome example of these guys. What you saw in him before the kick and then what you saw in him after. Yeah, I didn't bother him. I just stayed away from him. So let him do his deal. He's ready to go. I think this team has so much confidence in him, and I think the juice and energy that provides. The guys have a lot of confidence when he goes out there, and guys are fired up for him. And for him to make that kick, execute at that high of a level, the celebration in the locker room when you see it with Charlie and the team, this team loves that guy. So it was awesome. Yeah. So we felt like it was going to be as tight as it possibly could. We were at a 66-yarder at the time. We could take that. It's a long one for Charlie. Felt like 5 more yards would be huge. We just had to make sure everyone was on the same page, dialed on that whole operation. Something you work, each and every week and go through these situations. And so, felt like we needed a couple more yards just to put ourselves in an even better position for Charlie. Yeah, it's just awesome. I thought the dome came to life. Obviously, I thought that was a really cool example of as that game went on and we kind of caught a little bit of confidence, caught a little momentum. I felt like the crowd got into it late in the game. It was awesome. It was an awesome atmosphere for our guys to kind of rally together with, and I think it's a good example of what our team's building. There was one time where they checked, but he was okay, and so obviously he was fine. He came out of that 10. It kind of seemed like he was on a mission when y'all were about to go back out on offense before the game time drive. Did you have to check in with him at all, like ask if he was okay? They communicated well with me. I think I knew he was ready to roll. Yeah, obviously, those are challenging positions for defenders as well, with quarterback sliding. And so understand that component. I thought Tyler did a good job of getting the yards he could, getting down. Obviously, the penalties occurred, and obviously there was a benefit, towards us because of that. Yeah, just effort and resiliency. Not everything's perfect on film. We're going to have plenty of things to correct as a team. And so, but I thought for Chase's, just keep going for it. And eventually, he has those big moments late in that game. Yeah, it's just incredible. Our guys, I think it's confidence building. When a lot of times you get to a 4th and 1, and those are challenging situations, and I think our team has so much confidence that we're making these stops each and every opportunity that we have, and so it's obviously been a huge impact on a number of these wins for us. I think just getting the right people, just building this thing around really, really good people who are connected like no other, that compete each and every week, each and every circumstance, no matter what it is. I think it's credit to our guys. The last 2 weeks, to respond coming out of, that Atlanta game and coming back and responding the way that we have the last 2 weeks, I think is just credit to the people that we have in the locker room and their connection, but also their willingness and effort to continue to get better and take advantage of each opportunity. Yeah, I think we've talked about, December football is really, really important football. And, ours taking a slightly different path this year, but we got to create habits right now that, we play meaningful games in December. We create these big time opportunities for us. And, for these last couple games to be division games, these are teams we're going to play a couple times every year for the rest of the time. And so, these are going to be meaningful games that'll impact the future as well. Yeah, finally. Yeah, I finally got one. So I felt like I was going to go for the year. So, yeah, we're close. Yeah, just an awesome class. A bunch of guys that are getting better each and every opportunity. They're playing all their different roles, and I think that's the beauty of this team is, when these guys have opportunities, they're ready, they're dialed, they have all the confidence in the world, and they go out there and execute at a really high level. We were kind of right around that range right there. So, those are long field goals, obviously. You can look at the percentages of those. We felt like getting a couple extra yards, obviously, was going to be very beneficial for that. I think just a good example of a ton of things. The international program, practice squad development, guys that are continuing to learn and grow each and every opportunity. I think it's just a perfect example of what our league loves to represent is opportunities for people from all across the world now. And, Charlie's taking advantage of that. Yeah, we had a few guys left the game, so obviously we'll get the full update tomorrow with the medical thing with Devin, Bay, Caesar. Those 3 guys obviously weren't able to come back, and so we'll have to get clarification tomorrow. I thought they took advantage of their opportunity. Big time plays in the run game and the pass game. I thought there was a couple screens in there. Those guys did an awesome job of getting vertical and getting a bunch of yards out of those, and those are critical. I'm good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat? Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast, giving you all the State of the Saints podcast post-game report. The New Orleans Saints sweep the Carolina Panthers. They knocked off the Carolina Panthers by a score of 20-17. I'm going to say that again. The New Orleans Saints sweep the Carolina Panthers, knock off the Carolina Panthers by a score of 20-17. You know, Who Dat Nation, all season long, I have been relatively quiet because I kind of knew what type of season this would actually be for the New Orleans Saints. I knew that this was not going to be an ideal season, knew that the Saints were going through a rebuild, and I was just willing to sit up here and just roll with the punches, be as frustrated as many Saints fans were, while I break down what happens week after week. But something happened over the last couple of weeks with that nation. Something happened. You had the Carolina Panthers go out and show some fight. They went out and they showed some fight, ladies and gentlemen, and that just was not enough for Carolina Panthers fans. That wasn't enough. What they wanted to do is they wanted to take shots. They weren't looking at the fact that, oh, my team just getting better, man. Let's just keep it into perspective. Nobody really thought we was going to do anything. We started off pretty rough, but now we starting to find our stride. No. What did Carolina Panthers fans do? They do just like all these other fake, phony, pathetic fan bases do, which is when their teams start to show a little bit of life, they want to go and take shots at everybody. Why nobody picking my team? TJ, you don't know what you're talking about. And for the last 2 weeks, I was picking against Carolina because justifiably so. I mean, they won some games, but it's not like, oh, I should be picking them every week. You got Carolina Panthers fans that came after your boy. Came after me for some apparent reason, man. Oh, TJ, you don't know what you're talking about. Carolina about to win the division. Blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, I told them once again that the Saints were going to beat the Carolina Panthers. Oh, no, man, that was just a different energy. We was on the first time. We was looking past y'all. But this time, y'all got our undivided attention. We're about to wreck shop. Now, I will say that the Carolina Panthers did show some fight, and they did show some improvement going into this game versus the New Orleans Saints. Bryce Young, to me, played outstanding. He was out there wheeling and dealing. He actually made a believe out of me because I didn't feel like Bryce Young had the capabilities of putting the team on his back. And he put the team on his back. But it still wasn't enough. And these Carolina Panther fans out here, oh, TJ, you wasn't saying anything. You just started talking. You're absolutely right. Because I was willing to go throughout 2025 rolling with the punches. But y'all came for your boy. Pause. Y'all came towards me talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, all of a sudden, you made it personal. So I don't know if the Carolina Panthers are going to make the playoffs or not. But just to know that Carolina Panthers fans, coast to coast, are miserable tonight brings a tear to my eye. That's right. It brings an absolute tear to my eye because I don't care if you make the playoffs or not. You didn't do it at the expense of the New Orleans Saints. So you can try to cope with it any way that you want to. You can talk about the 24% probability. You can talk about, oh, man, we still control our destiny. You can say all those things. But just know that the Saints swept y'all ass. And that's all I got to say about that. At the end of the day, you still got swept. I don't care if you go and you make the playoff. Man, we still got a chance. Y'all out of it. But guess what? The Saints made y'all even closer to being out of it, and it makes me happy. To know that y'all miserable tonight makes me happy. The fact that I see y'all out here when I made that video using expletives and cussing me out brings a tear to my eye because I know that you're doing that because you guys are salty. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that y'all miserable. I love it. I am so happy right now. I promise you. I had nothing against Carolina whatsoever. I actually like the players on the team. I actually enjoy watching these young guys play. But the fans of the Carolina Panthers made it personal. And now y'all got to hear from your boy. y'all got to hear from me. And like I said, the fact that I know that y'all are miserable tonight makes me feel good. When Charlie Smyth kicked that field goal to bring the Saints to victory with 2 seconds left, made me feel good because I knew that somewhere a Carolina Panther fan was miserable. And I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. The New Orleans Saints showed a lot of fight in this game. They showed a lot of grit. They showed a lot of things that you want to see from your football team. And I walk away from this game believing. I've been believing for the last couple of weeks, but now I am so embedded in my belief that I don't think that we even need to be having a conversation anymore. Tyler Shough is the future of the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shough is the future of the New Orleans Saints. If you have not convinced yourself now that Tyler Shough has what it takes to be the franchise quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, there is something clearly wrong with you. This man in this game showed you everything that you wanted to see from your quarterback. From clutch throws. I'm talking 2nd and 13s. I'm talking 3rd and 12s. I'm talking shadow of their own goalpost. 17 play, 95-yard drives. I'm talking about fighting for extra yards. I'm talking about taking big hits and getting back up. I'm talking about throwing the ball to Tom, Dick, and Harry, looking like classic New Orleans Saints offense out there when Drew Brees used to be throwing the ball to 8-9 different offensive players. This man looks like the real deal. This man looks like the real deal. You have Saints fans out here that are talking about a draft pick. What in God's name is wrong with you? The whole reason why you wanted a draft pick so high in the first place, because you didn't feel that the Saints had the quarterback of the future. Watching Tyler Shough play over the last 2 to 3 weeks, including the loss versus the Miami Dolphins, you're not about to tell me that this guy hasn't changed your mind. If he hasn't changed your mind, then something is clearly wrong with you. I am at a point, I don't care about the draft pick anymore because the biggest concern was the quarterback position. Now you can go into the draft. You're going to have yourself a top 5, top 10 pick anyway, and you're going to get yourself a really talented player at whatever skill position you so choose. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a wide receiver, doesn't matter if it's offensive lineman, doesn't matter if it's a defensive lineman, doesn't matter if it's a running back. More than likely, it is going to be the best that this draft has to offer at that particular position. I don't care about no tanking for no draft. Like, tanking is not what you want your team to do. Because if you go into each game watching the New Orleans Saints and they just have this defeated attitude, like, oh, man, we ain't making the playoffs anyway. Oh, man, we ain't going to win nothing anyway. Oh, man, like, what are we playing for? If you have those type of guys on your team with that type of mental makeup, guess what? Next season is just going to look just like this season. But the fact that those guys went out there and they battled, and the fact that the Carolina Panthers were the only team from a NFL perspective, from a playoff perspective, from a divisional perspective, were the only team out there that actually had something to play for. And the Saints went out there and ripped the heart out of the Carolina Panthers team and fan base, and making it even more difficult for them to make the postseason, tells you everything you need to know about this New Orleans Saints team. They are trending in the right direction. They got a quarterback that it seems like that Saints fans can believe in. And they have young players on this team that they can actually build something around. So to me, bump that draft pick. Bump it. Like, you want to make sure that you're actually winning and building a foundation. Just like Kellen Moore said in his press conference, building a foundation, something that you can actually build on. I'm going to tell y'all a story. Tell y'all a story, man. We've been talking about the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell, and how he first started out with the Detroit Lions. We talked about how the Detroit Lions struggled, only won 3 games his first season. The next season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they went like 7-10. But the final game of the season, they were playing against a Green Bay Packers team that was the only team, once again, that had something to play for. And they knocked the Green Bay Packers from playoff contention. And after that season, we seen the resurrection of a Detroit Lions football team. We seen these guys go from one of the worst teams in football to one of the absolute best in the NFC. So I say that to say this, folks. It may not look ideal. It may look bleak. You have to go through a lot of ish in order for you to come out clean on the other side. We often use the Shawshank Redemption reference here on the show, when Andy Dufresne crawled through the septic tank and came out clean on the other side. You have to crawl through some ish sometime in order for you to come out clean on the other side. What the Saints are actually building, going up against a Carolina Panthers team that were trying to make the freaking playoffs. How in God's name do you not walk away from this game a little bit more prouder that your team did not give up? So we still up here talking about draft picks, man. We are in the wrong. We're in the wrong stratosphere. We're in the wrong conversation. What you need to be talking about is how this New Orleans Saints team was left for dead. Nobody believed in them, including us, that they had the capability of getting better, and they are starting to round the corner, and they're trying to finish the season strong. Miss me with that draft pick, bro. Miss me with that draft pick. You still going to get yourself a really good, talented player. Did the Saints not get a really talented player at number 10 in Calvin Banks? Anybody got a problem with Calvin Banks? Anybody? Anybody got a problem with Calvin Banks? Anybody feels like Calvin Banks is not the best offensive lineman on his football team, and they picked him with the 10th pick in the draft? So pump your brakes. It may not be Arvell Reese. It may not be Fernando Mendoza, may not be Dante Moore, may not be Reuben Bain, but it might be, Jordan Tyson, might end up being Jeremiah Love, might end up, being Malgoa, for the offensive line. It doesn't matter. It is going to end up possibly being a top tier draft pick. So what are we complaining about? What are we complaining about? Like, you should be proud, man. The effort that y'all seen number 6, Tyler Shough, play with today. Dude checked all the boxes. Dude checked all the boxes today. You want your quarterback to make good decisions? He did. You want your quarterback to show toughness? He did. You want your quarterback to show grit? He did. You want your quarterback to show durability? He did. He got 2 late hits, got kicked clean in the chops. And this man got right back up. This man was fighting for his life on most plays, breaking off defenders, climbing a pocket, throwing the ball to Devon Vele. Devon Vele leaves the game. In comes Kevin Austin Jr. He started to make plays. This man was wheeling and freaking dealing. Devin Neal goes down, your starting running back, who was your number 1 guy in practice during the week. He out there dumping the ball off to Estime and Evan Hall. What? And we still sitting up here talking about a draft pick? Man, miss me with that. The Saints may have found something special in Tyler Shough. Like I said, it's very early in this man's career. But how in God's name do you not walk away from this game feeling like much better about your future at the quarterback position and feeling less desperate about a draft pick? Is beyond me. Tyler, thank you very much for the $10. Says, I'm glad we won the game. I never cared about the draft pick. The win feels much better, period, point blank. And anybody that doesn't like winning something is wrong with you, period. Yeah, I said it. There's something clearly wrong. Clearly wrong. I'd rather take the win any time of the day. This was a tough, gritty victory that the New Orleans Saints had today. It felt like, and y'all heard it. I know for a fact that the Superdome was not sold out. But when the Saints were out there wheeling and dealing on that last drive, when you seen Chris Olave get 4 receptions on that last drive, when you seen Tyler Shough was like, look, y'all got J.C. Horn right there. We got Chris Olave right here. It is one-on-one. Let the best man win. And he thread the freaking needle to Chris Olave and a doggone Superdome. It felt like 2018. When I mentioned when P.J. Williams picked off Tom Brady and he returned that pick 6. That is what it felt like. When Charlie Smyth made that field goal, that's what it felt like. I would take that feeling any day of the week than to sit up here in front of my television or sitting inside of the Superdome and hoping that my team played just good enough to lose a football game to get a draft pick that it isn't even a sure thing that guy may end up changing the misfortunes of your franchise. Give me the victory any day of the freaking week. Do you hear me? Give me the victory any day of the week. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? Detroit has top picks, draft picks also, and got cornerstone players like Aiden Hutchinson. Exactly. They got Aiden Hutchinson, right? But at the same time, it didn't stop with him. They got Aiden Hutchinson. They got Jack Campbell. They got Terrion Arnold. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got Jamison Williams. Some of the guys that I'm naming was a part of the same freaking draft. So what does that tell you? That tells you if you hit in a draft, that can turn your franchise around. The Saints hit in 2017. It was because of the 2017 draft, the New Orleans Saints window got propped open once again. It was based on Marshawn Lattimore and Alvin Kamara and Marcus Williams and Alex Anzalone and Ryan Ramczyk. Like, those were the guys. They were thrust into this lineup, and they helped the New Orleans Saints because those young guys, like they just started making plays. You look around the New Orleans Saints, Kelvin Banks. You look at Devin Neal. You look at Tyler Shough. You look at Danny Stutzman. You look at Quincy Riley. You look at Ernest Sinker. All those guys not making plays. You don't have to okay, we got some guys this year. Okay, let's suck next year and put together another draft. No, if you play your cards right and you draft well and you have a really good solid draft, you can have yourself some cornerstone guys. You don't have to suck 2 and 3 years to get back to playoff contention, to win a division. All you need is a really good draft class with some guys that can step up. And what you're seeing, I can pull up the stats. And as a matter of fact, I don't even have to. The players that you're going to be counting on or you want to count on in the next 4 to 5 years defensively, they were at the top of the list. Who led the team in tackles today? Chase Young. You're looking for Chase Young to be that pass rush guy that is going to be that guy once Cam Jordan retires. That's who you're looking at. Ernest Sinker up there at the top. Quincy Riley up there at the top. These are the guys that you're counting on to be those cornerstone players. I have nothing against Demario Davis, but the fact that Demario had 5 tackles today tells me, okay, these young guys are making plays. They're making plays. That is what you want. You don't have to suck year after year. Oh man, we got a good draft this year, man. Let's lose a couple more games this year. Try to build. No. You got 2 of the most important positions. It seemed like kind of sold up. You need a really good left tackle. It seems like the New Orleans Saints got that. You need yourself a solid quarterback that can give you some solid quarterback play. It seems at this point the Saints got it. Now, you're going to need some other help on the offensive line. You're not there yet. And you're going to need probably, some other guys that can possibly complement Chase Young or Carl Granderson, which, who knows? I like what I'm seeing from Jonah Williams. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Stallberg when he gets in get in on the action. If these guys can develop the way that you want them to, then we're talking about the New Orleans Saints possibly being in playoff contention, possibly being contenders in the South next season. I mean, what are we watching is what I'm asking Saints fans. What are we watching? It's not like we're watching the Denver Broncos, who have won 11 games in a row or something. Like, what we're watching is a mediocre division that if you play your cards right, you make plays, you win the battle of attrition, you can find yourself being in contention, playoff contention, divisional contention. Like, what are we looking at? What are we looking at here, man? I don't see like it's like this never ending like story or something like that where the Saints just can't get back into playoff contention. Like, this division isn't very good. Tampa 7-7, Carolina 7-7. What is Atlanta? 5-9 or something like that? Like, and this division is winnable. Tyler, thank you very much for the $5. Said we were down 17-7. We scored 20 straight points to come back and win. Hasn't happened all year. My 3-14 predictions shall be wrong. We might win out. I don't know if they're going to win out or not, Tyler, but it's good to see that this team is fighting. Errol, thank you very much for the $20. Says, I think it's time to find McCoy replacement this draft or off season. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I agree with what you're saying, Earl. I don't think that you go into the draft like, okay, we got to find Eric McCoy's replacement, but you do go into the draft like, okay, man, let's draft somebody, because for the last couple of years, Eric has had issues with durability. Like, you have to take that into consideration. Man, what a catch. Who is that? Is that Naylor? Yeah, that's a really good catch by Naylor right there, man. I hope he's okay. I'm actually watching Sunday Night Football right now as we speak also. But at the end of the day, like, you got to look at that. Maybe somebody that can, be, at the guard position that can possibly be a swing guy, which I got to say, man, Lou Fortner hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been terrible, man. He's been all right. But at the end of the day, I agree with you, man. You have to go out there and try to find somebody that can possibly pick up that slack, man, because for the last 2 seasons, as good as Eric McCoy is, he hasn't been durable. Too many flags today. We got to clean that up. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of flags, man, but I mean, luckily for the Saints, Carolina had just as many flags. Let's see. Hear me out, y'all. I like Rattler, but I was super nervous when he came in the game. I wasn't nervous when he came into the game, because I knew 2 things were going to happen. It was rather, they was going to try to throw the pass down the field. They were going to throw it out of bounds. But that was a smart play, because the pass that they was throwing, I don't think was ever intended to be completed in the first place. It was just to take more time off the clock and make it as close to 0 as they possibly can, if not 0, when Charlie Smyth kicked the field goal. I feel like we need to add a receiver as well. Well, look, I do agree. I think the Saints need to add another receiver. But, I mean, you got some other guys that's supposed to be pretty talented for this team next season, guys like Jalen Polk, who was pretty good for the Patriots, and then also Trey Palmer. But, yeah, I don't think you just look at those guys like, oh, man, we got something there. But, I mean, but I think that those guys can make some plays. But I do think that the New Orleans Saints need a stud, man. Please call us tonight. We miss your commentary. It says the Vikings and the Cowboys. Thank you very much for the $2. Yeah, man, look, my schedule and the things that I had going on, you know what I'm saying, out, radio station, extracurricular activities that involve Paxton and myself, like, man, it was getting real exhausting, man. And like I said, I had to kind of put it on pause. But, in the next couple of weeks, the Saints season will officially be over, so I can kind of direct my attention to that, and y'all see more content on the state of the NFL. But it was just a lot, man. Just a lot going on, and, I don't want to just stretch myself too thin. TJ Tyler doing this with less talent Watch when we get playmakers. Yeah, man. I mean, this dude showed me something today, man. I mean, he showed me something last week, and he showed me something against Miami, despite the fact that they lost. And, there were a couple of interceptions, but man, this dude is a gamer, man. This man's a gamer, and he's fearless. Like, he believes in these wide receivers, and these wide receivers, like, believe in him. Like, they believe in this dude. Says Olave still not a true number one. Look, I still don't believe that. Like, I think that Chris Olave can make plays, which we've seen that. And this is what that just bothers me about folks, man. Like, man, there's no shame in it either. When things at their bleakest, right? This is how I feel. And I don't feel like I'm wrong for feeling this way. Don't wait till a guy looks like he's proving you right to say something. Say something when everybody is being critical of him, and then go and say, man, you know what? This guy's still a number one. I don't care what y'all say. Don't go missing for weeks, and then all of a sudden you see somebody say something that counteracts how you feel, but you were too cowardice to go out here and continue to stay true to yourself. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, man, what you saying now? I'm saying the same thing. All I'm saying is, man, keep the same freaking energy. I don't care. I do not care. Yes, Chris Olave made some really good catches on that last drive when he had 4 receptions. Looked really good. But am I sitting up here today saying that if the Saints end up drafting a guy in the top 5, top 10, they won't take over the responsibilities of being that number one receiver because Chris Olave is on the team? Absolutely not. I still feel that way. Very talented guy. In games, he going to look like he is a top number one receiver. But when it comes down to it, I still feel he leaves a lot to be desired. 1A, yes, absolutely. Making really good catches, absolutely. But sitting up here like, just because, he had 4 receptions on the final drive, like, I still feel that way. And I'm going to continue to feel that way. But that's what people do, man. Like, don't say nothing the whole time when dude's struggling, dropping the football, all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, he started making plays. Man, well, they see he the number one. Like, nah, man. Like, get out of here. Only person I'm respecting, if somebody was to say this, I promise you, the only person I'm sitting up here saying and giving respect to that been holding it 10 toes down that I have talked to is Nate. Nate has been talking about Chris Olave since the beginning of the season, and his narrative and thoughts have never changed. Nate is the only person I feel, if he was sitting up here talking about Chris Olave, see, TJ, see, this is what I was talking about. The only person I'd be like, okay. Other than that, no. But I still feel that way. I feel like if there was another guy who come in and he was like a number one guy, like, I think that, I think the Saints will treat him as such. But I think the connection I think the way Tyler Shough throws the ball to Chris Olave, it helps him. And there was one play. I'm gonna tell y'all, there's one play. This is when I feel like, the connection was good. This is when I felt like Tyler Shough understands Chris Olave. There was one play. There was a play where Chris Olave was in the middle of the field. Chris Olave was open. He didn't put it on Chris Olave. What he did was he threw the ball down low in order to allow Chris Olave to slide. And with that, some people was like, man, why ain't giving that yards after the catch? Because he realized that he had 2 defenders making a beeline towards Chris Olave, and there's a possibility that one of them could have caused Chris Olave to take a big hit. That's when I realized, I'm like, okay, yeah, this dude right here, like they starting to get it together. And then after that, you start to see Chris Olave really start to come alive. That type of stuff right there, like, it gives a wide receiver confidence. And after that, you seeing Chris Olave just, pretty much take the game over. Vele is balling out. He is building chemistry with Tyler. Yeah. Devon Vele, I don't know what the New Orleans Saints were thinking at the beginning of the season. I don't know what they was thinking. I'm like, man, if y'all had this sitting on the bench, man. Homeboy don't drop passes. Like, I don't think I ever seen Devon Vele since he been with the Saints drop a pass. Even if he like catches the ball, it's like if he catching the ball towards the sideline, he'll catch it, but he'll probably want to have 2 feet in bounds. But he catches nearly everything. He catches everything, man. Like that guy's, man, you got something with that. Clearly, y'all don't know what a game manager is. It's not a bad thing. It's a guy that can make plays, but everything isn't on his shoulders every week to win. Yeah, I mean, look, there's only a few elite quarterbacks that are in the NFL that you're gonna win with, right? You're gonna win with because that quarterback exists. Then you got other guys that's like game managers. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Football is the ultimate team sport, folks. And I get it, right? There's nothing more majestic than watching a quarterback lead his team to victory. And it don't matter if you got the best wide receiver group or best offense that you can put together or a mediocre team, he helps them and elevates everybody around him. But everybody is not going to have that type of structure. You're going to need complementary guys. You're going to need that guy who can get that screen pass, make a couple guys miss, run down the field, right? That is what you need. And ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But at the same time, look, what we're seeing from Tyler Shough, I can tell you this. There's nothing that I've seen from Tyler Shough over the last 3 weeks tells me that all the Saints have is a game manager. He's a guy that the Saints can win because of. Like, he is a because of quarterback. The Saints, I don't think the Saints in this position if Tyler Shough not on the field. With all due respect, and y'all know how much respect I have for Spencer Rattler. I do not think the Saints are in this type of predicament if Tyler Shough not on the field. This guy is helping the Saints win football games. Like that is what you want to see. See, this is the reason why I can have shows like this, and people like, man, TJ, man, you overreacted. No, I am not. This is something that Saints fans have wanted to see. This dude is not a game manager. He is not a game manager. Game managers are not man. What did man stats say? Hold on, hold on. Game managers don't do stuff like this. Game managers don't facilitate 17 play 95-yard drives. They don't do that. They don't do that, man. Like, man, go to the play-by-play. This man was out here converting. Man, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right, this man was converting. There was a 3rd and 6. You had a 1st and 15. Like you got a 1st and 18. This man this man had a 1st and 18. They get 15 yards on the play. Like this, man, 3rd down conversion after 3rd down conversion. This man is out here making plays. They are winning games and they are making plays because this dude is on a football team. Like there's no game management going on right now. There's no game management. I don't understand. Like, how as a Saints fan are you not excited at the possibility of what this dude can actually be as a quarterback? Okay, my bad. Never ever been on the Saints side. Who that? Accuracy is what separates him from Rattler. Just wish I could have said him versus the talent early on. This is your players that we can't do without. It is Shough. Without him, we don't have he's making everybody better, man. He's making everybody better. Making everybody better around him. How many 2nd and 3rd and longs did Shough? That's what I'm saying, Nate. That's what I'm saying. Like, those are the type of things. Like, what people like to do, they look at the score. They'll look at the score. Oh, man, the Saints only scored 20 points. What was going on throughout the game? Like, the conversions, the attempts, the drives. I can tell you who's excited about Tyler Shough being a quarterback, that doggone defense. Because the defense aren't looking like, oh, man, we got to go out here and play nearly perfect. Because if we don't, then guess what? They're about to get another 3 and out, and we back out there again. And you fatiguing like your entire defense because these dudes out here on the field too long. So you know who appreciates a 17-yard drive? The defense. Do you know who appreciates 7 minutes off the clock? The defense. Because your defense now isn't winded. They're not tired. They're not like sitting up here like gassed by late in the third quarter, like early in the fourth quarter, because even though it might not have ended with 3 points, it might not have ended with a touchdown. Guess what? The defense got some Gatorade in their system, and they're on the sidelines. That is who appreciates the long, methodical drives that Tyler Shough and the offense is putting together. I can tell you that right now. I believe without the flags, bro, we probably would have scored more points. Look, probably, man. I mean, you had a big Mason Tipton, you had a big Mason Tipton reception that was wiped off by an eligible receiver downfield, Calvin Banks. But like to his credit, sometimes when a quarterback holds on to the ball too long, and that's something that I feel like over the course of time, once the offensive line understands how Tyler Shough operates, you probably won't have those ineligible men downfield penalties as often, because Tyler Shough likes to extend plays. Like sometimes, like when these wide receivers break off their routes, he's holding on to the ball in order for that wide receiver to gain separation. So, but that's gonna happen, man. That's gonna happen. It's about developing a chemistry. It's about understanding. It's about understanding like what you are and who you are as an offense. Louis Riddick is on cloud 9 right now. Yeah, he is. Because he was a guy that seen Tyler Shough. Because everybody was like talking about Tyler Shough. The only thing that they was talking about was that throw that he threw at the combine that slipped out his hand. Says to TJ, who is your Bayou baller this week? Man, Tyler freaking Shough, man. I mean, Tyler Shough is my Bayou baller. Like, man, first off, it's not even about the stats, man. It's not even about the stats. But he was 24-32, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, had a quarterback rating of 110. Guy was sacked 5 times, hit about 1 million times. And he just continued to fight, man. He just continued to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all something. The Carolina Panthers see that too. They see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to tell you why. Anybody that's ever played football, you know what I'm talking about. You ever seen a player that just seemed like he just better than everybody else on the field? It makes everybody on the opposite side of the football, they're trying to stop him, it makes them frustrated. The fact that Tyler Shough, don't matter what type of adverse situation that Carolina put him in, he was making things happen. Those late hits and those shots on him, those were frustration shots because they see it. They see the dog in this dude. Trust and believe. They see the dog in this dude. Like they see it, man. Those late hits, those hits were like, man, this dude out here, this man about to ruin our plans. That is what those hits were about. They see it, man. I'm telling y'all. If this man, I'm talking Shough, if Tyler Shough can continue to build on what he is doing and being a starting quarterback of the Saints and what he has done since he has been a starter, this man can end up being, once again, this is not hyperbole. He can end up being the best quarterback in this division. They see it, man. Those hits that they was putting on him were frustration hits. That was, we need to get this dude the hell up out of here hits. This was like, man, this dude is ruining our plans hits. That anybody that's ever played sports, you know what I'm talking about. If you was playing on defense and there was just running back, I mean, this dude was just out here, man. Like we wrapping him up. He's still breaking tackles. Like, God, dog, man, we got to do something with this dude. And it makes you frustrated because it's like no matter what you're trying to do, you can't stop him. Those were frustration hits because they knew, man, like, man, he has something like it. And the crazy thing about it is it's not even all there yet. The irony, Blake Grupe hit a 60-yard field goal today. Well, congratulations to Blake Grupe, man. Like, look, I ain't trying to wish bad on no Blake Grupe. And maybe that's what Blake Grupe needed. Maybe he just needed a change of scenery. Sometimes when guys get a little bit too comfortable at times, you know, like you can kind of be a little lax. I mean, Blake Grupe, you know, Saints basically gave him the greatest bill of confidence that you can. They made him a team captain. And, like you had all these things. I mean, him and his wife bought a house out in, you know, I think Harahan or something. Like, man, things were going good. So you get a little lax sometimes, man, because you feel like you got everything in the bag. So maybe he needed this, man. Maybe he needed that adverse situation. Maybe he needed to be cut in order for him to live up to his true potential, man. I ain't got nothing against no Blake Grupe. I don't want to see this man suck. I want to see him go out here, make plays so he can be able to take care of his family and be a kicker in the NFL as long as he possibly can. Like, just because it didn't work for the Saints don't mean that I want to see this man fail everywhere that he goes. Like, I don't care, man. I want to see this dude do well. I mean, I don't see that man fail. I don't. So I'm glad that he hit a 60-yard field goal. I hope he continue to hit field goals. Let that man live up to his potential. That man wide open. Jordan Addison, my goodness. Man, God, dog, man. How did he get that wide open? But anyway, man. See, if you actually watch Tyler Shough play this season thus far, you can't deny it. No, you can't, man. I don't think it's hyperbole. I'm serious. Like, I've watched a lot of football, ladies and gentlemen. I have watched a lot of football in my lifetime. I have watched a lot of football. And you can just tell. Like, you can tell a guy who is a gamer. You can tell a guy who has the potential of being something. Like, now, all of this is basically up to that said individual. But you can see it. You can see it. And his teammates can see it too. That night, there was a play when Tyler Shough, matter of fact, it was the play that kind of set up the field goal. It was a quarterback sneak right up the middle. He takes the late hit. Everybody on the offense came and helped this man up. Every last one, they see it. They believe in this dude. They believe in him. And when have you seen the New Orleans Saints receivers going out there making these type of circuit catches? Everybody was out there elevating this game. Everybody was out there elevating their game today. Like, you seen Kevin Austin out there. Like, he came in. Everybody was out there. It seemed like they were trying to prove that this man is legit. Like, it don't take much, folks. It don't take much for you to actually see what's right in front of you, unless you just don't want to. Yeah, the whole team helped him up. Everybody rallied to this guy. Everybody rallied to him. They took this man to the blue medical tent, and that man couldn't wait to get up out of there. That's the type of, like, you don't think these dudes like, man, well, let's see what he gonna do. He goes to the blue medical tent, that man out before Spencer Rattler can even make a play. That is what I'm talking about, man. Like, they believe in this guy. They believe in him, man. They believe in him. Hit that like button and subscribe to the SOTS. Please do, man. And please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. And that's a touchdown right there by Justin Jefferson, but there's a flag on the play, and he's frustrated. Bro, Vele is starting to be the truth. Shough, Neal, and Vele are the future. Shough is a Ferrari with no power steering. Look, man, all I'm saying is, like, there's something there. And it's not even fully polished yet. But if he can build on this, man, look out. I'm not just talking about, oh, man, being a contender in the South. I'm talking about, I said this on a Bleacher Report. I said this on a post-game show. We're talking about this guy like getting MVP consideration. I guarantee you. Y'all see how the Saints don't have no primetime game this season? I guarantee, like, the way this dude playing, let him finish the season strong. I guarantee you're going to have some primetime game next season. I guarantee you're going to have some primetime games next season because Tyler Shough is your quarterback. Guarantee you. Take a few more and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, folks. Says Vele might end up being the number one receiver and Shough going to end up being the best quarterback in this division. That's what it's looking like. Says, I'm going to say, man, Vele, a number one, bro. He don't drop balls, bro. It's crazy. Pause. Yeah, I don't never see him drop any passes. We need juice at the running back position. Neil, a tough yardage type back. Remind me of Pierre Thomas. Yeah. He got to remind me of Mark Ingram a little bit, today, like in the way he runs. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, remind me of Pierre Thomas. Estimate remind me of Pierre Thomas. That's what reminds me of Pierre Thomas. TJ Olave is like Anthony Davis, number one talent, but not a number one mentality. High point to Vele every time. Every time they was in trouble. Every time they was in trouble. That's what we look for. Got to get rid of Ruiz. He's going to compromise Shough. Yeah, man, I think the New Orleans Saints need to consider trying to trade Cesar Ruiz. Or something, man. They need to fix that. The only thing I would say about Tyler Shough, I feel like sometimes he braces for impact a little bit prematurely at times. Like if he sees like there's a rush in his face, sometimes he'll kind of flinch a little bit and kind of like get in a fetal position. I don't know if it's like him trying to get small or try so the defender can kind of like get past him or something so he gets small. That's something that I think that he needs to work on, because sometimes, there can be a little bit more meat on the bone, but sometimes like he'll flinch up a little bit when he senses pressure, set him like kind of stepping up a little bit and kind of just throw the ball down the field. Other than that, man, he works on that. He'll be okay. Vele is a go-getter, TJ. I agree. Can we trade Ruiz next season for like a 5th or 6th round pick? Jeremiah Love is the first. Yeah, the more the New Orleans Saints kind of get their act together, the more I feel like the Saints may need to like go after a guy like Jeremiah Love. We need that Darren type back on third, quick dude. Yeah, I think a guy like Jared, like the more the New Orleans Saints continue to cook. Oh man, that's a touchdown right there. Oh man, homeboy hitting gritty. Boy, JJ McCarthy. But anyway, yeah, man, the more they start to get their act together, the more I feel like, man, maybe like a dynamic running back can help alongside fixing this offensive line. Abuka and McMillan getting locked down by our defense. I mean, look, if you look at Teteroa McMillan only had 2 catches for 25 yards. That Xavier Legette catch, I mean, bro, it is fluky as I don't know what. There was a play. It's just like Bryce Young was just under the rest, and he's just like, oh, man, somebody make a play. And he ended up catching that 34-yard catch. Like, other than like Jalen Coker, who I call the push-off artist, because 2 of the plays that he made, I don't care. Go back and look at him. He pushed off. He pushed off Alontae Taylor on that first reception. That's the same challenge that, see if he had 2 feet in bounds. And then he pushed off Quincy Riley too. Referees didn't call it, but, I digress. TJ, would you pick line first offensive? Yeah. I mean, look, you may not want it as a Saints fan, but they need to fix this offensive line. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, look, we can sit up here and talk about, oh, man, I don't want to repair my car. But if you don't repair your car, guess what? You're going to be on the side of the road, plain and simple. You can pretend you can turn up the radio, you turn up the air conditioner so you won't hear that little knocking inside of your car all you want to. But guess what? Eventually, you're going to have to face the reality that you're going to have to fix your vehicle. You got to fix this offensive line. You may not want to. You may not want to go back to the draft and draft offensive linemen, but guess what? You got to do it. If we're talking about Tyler Shough doing anything in 2026, if we're talking about the Saints developing a running game. Like in any way, shape, or form, folks, guess what? You got to fix this offensive line. And like I said, it may not be ideal for some Saints fans. Oh, I'm tired of the offensive line. But guess what? If you get Matt Ogoa from Miami, you get him on his offensive line with Calvin Banks and Talese Fuaga, like, man, look, that's a start. That's a start, dude. Like, that's a step in the right direction. I don't have a problem with that. Like, I just feel like, man, what you picking offensive linemen for when you reaching for these offensive linemen? Like, you needed a left tackle. Calvin Banks made sense, and it was a good decision. Like I say, man, you gotta fix the issue, or you're gonna keep on having the same problem. I don't want to keep on having the same conversation. Oh man, this offensive line sucks, man. What they gonna do about this offensive line? You fix it. You fix it. Number 66 was an upgrade over Ruiz today. Are we talking about Sherman? Yeah, I mean, look, he made a really good block. He made a really good block on that screen play that Estime ran for 19 yards. He was a lead blocker on that one. Mofo was mad at the Banks pick. They quiet now. Look, I already told y'all. I said this at the beginning. I said Calvin Banks can end up being one of the best draft picks the New Orleans Saints have ever had as long as he stays healthy. That man is about the more sure thing on this offensive line that the New Orleans Saints got. That's plain and simple. Like, this man was the right pick. We've been drafting offensive linemen for a few years. Yeah, I mean, but they've been missing on them. But what you can say is, like, for the last couple of drafts, they've done the right things. I mean, look, I don't have a problem with Talese Fuaga. I don't. I think, look, this man is in a lineup dealing with injuries, and he's not 100%. I know for a fact this dude ain't 100%. I know for a fact he's not 100%, but he's out there battling, man. So get his man an off season where he can get his little back issues and his ankle issues like situated, because he's out there, man. Like, he's out there. I'm pretty sure he probably getting an injection shot just to be out there. So look, man, I know what people say, like, oh man, what's going on with dude? Like, he not 100%. Traded Penny for a bag of zaps, and offensive line got better. Let's not forget that, Rooster. TJ, where my boy Torricelli? Torricelli, you know, he on the practice squad. He on the practice squad, man. But that's somebody, you know, the Saints probably looking at as a developmental guy. They probably end up like making him like a, you know, kind of a, you know, a guard / center. Because I mean, that's, you know, he played center. He played center during preseason. Anyone see that they tried to throw to Trevor Penny today? Nah, I didn't see that, man. Pelicans now have a 2-game winning streak, and so do the Saints. Wow, who would have thought? TJ, you add Trey Palmer, Jalen Polk, and Bub Means to that wide receiver corps next year. You had me with Jalen Polk and Trey Palmer. Bub Means might be the odd man out. Like, what does he fit on this team? Like, where does he fit? Who you on this like, looking at the wide receiver room? Who you giving up? Who you giving up for Bub Means? Are you giving up Devon Bailey? No. Or are you giving up Trey Palmer? Nope. Chris Olave? Nope. And then on top of that, I'm pretty sure the New Orleans Saints going to draft another wide receiver, which is going to push him further and further down the depth chart. So I'll be shocked if Bub Means even on a team next year. TJ, I agree with you 100%. O-line needs to get fixed. Facts, I just had to throw 4 new tires on my truck. I thought of 100 other things to spend my money on. Yeah. I mean, look, I get it. I get it. I get it, man. I get it. Like, we want these luxury things, man. Don't we? Like, we want them, man. But sometimes you have to pay attention to the things that you need. Sometimes you got to pay attention to the things that you need, man. You know, and sometimes it involves like, you know, you don't want to do it, but it's necessary. If the season was 22 weeks and not 18, league would be cooked. Means is better than Tipton. Not in that special team game, he ain't. Shoot, Mason Tipton have been like, they did not want to kick the Mason Tipton today. There's a reason why. There's a reason why they were happy to kick that ball to Evan Hall on the other side of the field. So on special teams, yeah, but like, yeah, I agree. But who are you pick? Like, honestly, if you're talking about Trey Palmer, Jalen Polk, who are in the cards for the New Orleans Saints to be a part of the offense next year, are you giving those guys up for Bud Means? Like, Bud Means better go out here looking like Megatron 2.0 or something. He better be looking like Vele. Saints fans most delusional fan base, 4 wins, and y'all are Super Bowl contenders. No, nobody, look, ain't nobody saying that the Saints are Super Bowl contenders. Nobody's saying that at all. But it's a good thing that the New Orleans Saints are developing, every single week, and they're getting better. See, people understand where the Saints are as a football team. See, the thing about it is other fan bases want you to be miserable. But this is what real fans actually do. They sit around here and they have conversations and they get happy when their team do something good. Not wait to the last minute when their team looking like something, and then all of a sudden, like, y'all, you show up and want to talk noise. No. Everybody understands where the Saints are as a team, but when you are a team that's actually rebuilding, you're looking for the positive things that are around your team. So what do you want us to sit up here and do? Oh, man, y'all, well, despite the fact we won, we still suck. Like, no, people are proud to be Saints fans. Nobody want to sit up here and talk about the Saints losing every single week. But guess what? The same people that I'm seeing in the chat right now have been here since week 1 and have been here, right now at week 15, still talking about their team. So this ain't the type of fan base that just sit up here and be like, oh, man, you know what? Oh, man, we ain't doing nothing, so ain't no need for us to be around. Like, nah, bro, we got pride over here. We love our football team. It ain't conditional like some of these other fan bases out here who wrapped up shop, who wrapped up the cords and microphones when their team was losing at the beginning of the season and said that it ain't worth it being away from their family. It ain't that type of fan base. So I don't know what you want. Like, what you want us to sit up here? Oh, man, we stink. Like, no, I already told you. When the Carolina faithful, and I put quotes on faithful, came at me and talked about I ain't know what I was talking about because I ain't picked their team. Even when they didn't pick their own team at the beginning of the season, they made it personal. So, yes, I already said at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to say it again. To know that the Carolina Panthers fans are miserable tonight because they lost to the Saints make me feel very, very proud. Very, very proud. I have nothing against the Carolina Panthers team at all. At all. But to just know that they fans are miserable tonight because the Saints beat them makes me feel good. And yes, the Saints aren't going to the playoffs. And yeah, the Saints aren't going to win the division. But guess what? They swept the Carolina Panthers, and that's good enough for me. So to know, man, Brandon Aubrey missed a field goal? What is going on here? Brandon Aubrey missing a field goal. So, yes, like I said, I don't care. Man, we still got a mathematical chance of making a playoff. I do not care. You're miserable tonight. You're miserable tonight, and I love it. I love it. You don't have as much confidence in your playoff chances right now than you did going into the game. So for that, I'm happy. And I hope I hope the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can muster up enough strength to knock them off so I can really laugh and expose them boys for the frauds that they actually are. It was awesome to see our quarterback lead them on a game-winning drive. Yeah, it was. And like I said, if you're a Carolina, I have nothing against the Carolina Panthers football team. I actually am happy that Bryce Young is figuring it out. I'm serious. I'm actually happy that he's starting to figure it out and getting better as a quarterback. But they fans can kick rocks. I bet Panthers fans thought this was going to be a cakewalk game today. It's funny, man, because here's the thing. We're at the end of the show, so y'all already know how it go. It's amazing how fan bases, like how they decide how their team is going to win. They do it based on who they beat the previous week. I say this all the time. I'm like, if it's a divisional game, You got to throw records out of the window. You have got to throw records out of the window. Your team is constructed and built to counteract what your opposition in your division does. So everybody knows everybody. You got tape. You got film on these guys. Everybody knows where the bodies are buried. So if you're a team that only won one game, you can beat a team that probably won 11 if you're in a division because you know them. Because that is how your team is constructed. They're built to try to counteract the opposition. Oh, man, we beat the Rams, man. The Rams the best team in the league. Man, y'all ain't got a chance. When people start talking like that to me, I already know they don't know nothing about no football. I already know they don't know nothing about no football. Well, we beat the Rams, and that means that we good enough to beat y'all. Yeah, you are. You do have the capability, but that don't mean that you're going to win. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Oh, we beat them last week. So, and the Rams, they lost to this team that we beat. So we gonna beat y'all. Okay. Don't talk no football with me, man. I got unsubbed from you. How did I get unsubbed? I have absolutely no idea, Josh. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I don't unsub anybody unless they just flagrant with it. Yep, I agree. We lost back-to-back home games. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. I don't know how y'all lost on Thursday night. Brent, I don't know. That's so cute. The Sucks thought we did that for them. We put notice next season we coming to take over. Look, that you know happy about this victory other than Bucs fans, the NFL. They love it, man, because look, what they want is eyes on the product. That's what they want. They want eyes on the freaking product. This sets up a possible flex game between the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into the final week of the season, Sunday Night Football, playing in, I guess, Charlotte or whatever, and a chance for a win in their end scenario. That's what they want. So that's who is the most happy outside of Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans today, the NFL. Because it sets up intrigue, it sets up high drama, and that's what they love. Like, man, honestly, they don't want this game on TV tonight. 5-8 Minnesota, who out of playoff. Dallas Cowboys 6-6, still got a chance to make playoff, but they don't want this game, man. They want high drama. That's what they want. Mahomes has a torn ACL. He is going to miss most of next year. That's unfortunate, man. Hate to see that, man. I know people don't like the Chiefs and they got tired of the Chiefs and they got Chief fatigue, but I ain't trying to see Patrick Mahomes miss the season, man. They always want Dallas on TV. Yeah, they always want Dallas on TV, but they don't always want the opposition that Dallas play against on TV. Yeah, they don't want that. LOL, September is 9 months. He will be back by September. Man, I just hope that he does come back. Panthers have hope. I mean, look, that's good that they still have hope, but they don't have as much hope as they had if they would have won this game versus the Saints. That's all I know. I don't care how much hope they got. we weren't preaching hope at first. We was preaching, oh, man, we about to win this division. Y'all don't give us no respect. Now all of a sudden, man, we still got a chance. We still going to do something. Okay, I don't care. Like I said, go to the postseason. I don't care. But you ain't going to make it this week. That's all I know. That's all I know. I hope they don't make no more rules against the defense because he got hurt. Nah, I mean, it was just an unfortunate situation. I'm just glad the future is looking bright. It'll be funny if the Vikings beat the Cowboys tonight. It's not out of realm of possibility. Mahomes might retire. I doubt that. I wouldn't mind Rico in the Saints backfield. I like Rico Dowdle. I was glad that he was able to come back in the game. I was like, I wanted the Saints to shut him down, but not like that. But I don't know what the heck happened. Like, I don't know what the heck happened. Like, it just seemed like they just stopped running the football. But, I mean, Rico Dotto had 16 carries for 49 yards, 3.1 average. And Chuba Hubbard had 8 carries for 29 yards, 3.6. I guess they felt like, man, we ain't really running the football well. But it's like, man, in the second half, they just stopped. They just stopped trying to run the football completely. Might be time for Kelsey to retire. Yeah, I agree. Travis Kelce be out there running in slow motion. I just don't like the Cowboys. Call me petty. Go Vikings. I don't think I don't think a lot of people like the Cowboys. The fact that, they get a lot of attention and sometimes they don't deserve it. Most of the time they don't deserve it. But I will say this, man. I can kind of understand why the Dallas Cowboys are on television as much as they are, especially like if you watch that Netflix documentary on the Dallas Cowboys with Jerry Jones, like you kind of understand like a lot of the things that have happened in the NFL, and for them to like have be the powerful force that they are right now, like it had a lot to do with Jerry Jones and how instrumental he was at like helping the NFL be what it is right now. So I understand like why they on TV a lot. I mean, Jerry Jones like played a huge role in the development of the NFL, like a lot. TJ, do you view CD and Pickens as 2 number ones? Yeah, I do. I do. I believe they got 2 number 1 guys. I feel like any one of those guys can go off any game. Cowboys are worth $10 billion. That's the NFL cash cow. Yeah. I mean, look, if you watch that documentary, like you see why like they always on television. That's just the truth, folks. They are the NFL cash cow, and a lot of the things that the NFL have received today is because of the fearlessness of Jerry Jones and him kicking against a lot of things that the NFL didn't want to do. So, I mean, the dude is a pioneer. Like, it's annoying, but he's a pioneer. Like, I walked away from that documentary like, dang, man, look, Jerry Jones kind of saved the NFL, because NFL was it was a popular product, but it's not like on the level it is right now. Like, Jerry Jones wanted like the endorsement deals. Like, he was the one that was out here wanting the patches on side of the guys' jerseys and all that kind of stuff during practice. He wanted like the teams to be on TV and dominate prime time and, all those things. Like when Fox was like NFL on Fox, like when they were trying to start off, and they were trying to get into the sports business, like he played a huge role in that, man. He played a huge role in that. So I'll give him respect in that regard, man. I pray teams sleep on Mansour Delaney as he falls to us. Yeah, no, that ain't happening, dude. He gonna be the first cornerback taken off the board. Louis Riddick called it. Yeah, Louis Riddick be smiling from ear to ear, man. And also, man, Deion Branch too, man. Deion Branch too. Like, I had opportunity to kind of talk to Branch, behind the scenes, because he's at Louisville. We could never like really come up with a time where we can kind of sit down and kind of discuss things. But he was willing to tell me. It was like, I asked him what he thought about Shough. He's like, man, like you gonna see. Like that's basically what he said. He said you got something there. Jerry Jones is hated by Raiders Nation, like a few others. There's a lot of jealousy and envy like going on with them organizations too, man. TJ, who are your top 3 worst fan bases? Mine is Atlanta, Dallas, and Bama fans. Top 3 worst fan bases. Philly, number 1. Like, man, Philly, like, bro, I understand about being passionate behind your football team and stuff like that, man, but man, they just obnoxious and want to fight, and bro, it's like Philly fans remind me of that guy who has those like wish they could have been in the NFL but couldn't make it. So, they live vicariously through somebody else. That's kind of like what their fan base is like. Like, I understand about being happy about your team and winning and stuff like that, but man, I don't think that you need to be sitting around here like antagonizing other teams and pushing guys and wanting to fight. And, like, man, come on, man. Like, to me, worst fan base in sports. Worst fan base in sports. That's number one. Number two, I would say Dallas Cowboy fans. Dallas Cowboy fans kind of like for a different reason. It's like they just got Stockholm syndrome. Like they just like, man, they just believe in this football team no matter what's being shown year after year. Like they just like, man, we better than y'all. Okay, whatever. Number three, I want to say Atlanta. I wouldn't say the Atlanta Falcons. I wouldn't put Atlanta Falcons. I would be putting them up there just kind of just out of spite. But I don't think I don't think they're the worst fan base. They're the least committed fan base. They one of the most least committed. Like, I don't feel like their allegiance sometimes can be conditional. And that's the biggest issue I have. Like, I just feel like you need to rock with your team all the time. Like, win, lose, or draw. Number three. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to wait on that one. But Philly and Dallas, yeah, they up there. They up there. But Philadelphia, to me, they got the worst fan base. They are the worst fan base. Like that is not the type of fan base you want to be. I get it. Like you have this us against the world type mentality, but I don't know, man. It's like I don't know, man. It's weird, man. It's weird. Let's see. Falcons are some of the worst fan base. I live in Atlanta, and they are the worst, especially against Saints fans. I mean, but Ryan, that's just a rival, though. That's like me. I mean, I'm a Jackson State alum, right? I mean, it's me talking about Alcorn or something. Like, man, of course I got no love. Ain't no love lost between Jackson State and Alcorn. I mean, that just comes with the territory, but I wouldn't call them the worst fan base. I would say they just conditional. They just a conditional fan base for me. Let's see. We've had recent beef with both Rams and Vikings. Look, I have nothing against the Vikings fans. I think that the Vikings fans, I don't have anything against the Vikings fans. Like I don't have anything against them. As far as the Rams, I don't really have nothing against the Rams either. I don't look at. First off, I don't really look at the Rams having a fan base like that because they play in LA. LA is, I'm trying to be nice, but I got to be real. It's a lot of phony. There's a lot of phony stuff going on in LA, right? I mean, they attach themselves to stuff that is hot. Now, you know, they did like if a team is winning. If something is like, you know, white hot, they attach themselves to it. If the Rams like don't win football games, if the Rams aren't in playoff contention, I don't think they fans like are like loyal like that. So I wouldn't even put them up there. Like just because like the Vikings or the Rams say something about saying, I wouldn't call them a bad fan base. I think the Vikings have a very committed fan base. I think they got a real committed fan base. And then on top of that, man, like if you ever like been to Minnesota, like some of the nicest people that you ever gonna meet. Like, like they're not mean people at all, you know. They just love their football teams. So I wouldn't put them in that category. I just think that the playoffs and some of the stories behind like some of the heartbreaking losses that the Saints have had at the hands of the Vikings and Rams kind of make that. You know, like, oh, man, I don't like the fan base, but I don't have anything against them. Congratulations to my South Carolina State Bulldogs for winning the Celebration Bowl against Prairie View in 4 overtime. Yeah, man, shouts out to them Bulldogs, man, coming back from 21 points down and beating Prairie View. I know some people were talking about that, you know, that two-pointer and, you know, and they said that it wasn't a two-point conversion, but I would make an argument that wasn't the reason why, right? I mean, you had opportunity to make a chip shot field goal if you Prairie View to win the Celebration Bowl, and your kicker shanked it. And then you had opportunity again, and you just couldn't cash it in. So, look, and you had a 21-0 lead going into halftime. So, yes. Yes. Shouts out to South Carolina State. Let's see. The Saints defense, thank you very much for $2. Says we on the sidelines relaxing. Thank you, Tyler Shough. Yeah, man, that defense needed that. They needed that. Grambling State University alum. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I think Grambling, showed some fight towards the end of the season. I just don't like the fact that there's only one game for HBCUs. Like, they got the Celebration Bowl. I mean, I just feel like they should have something else going on, man. They should be a part of more bowls. Like, you look at Alabama State, that was a good season they had. Jackson State, that was a good season they had, right? But there's only one team. I mean, two teams. Like, you can win 10. Like, think about this. There's a team that's going to be playing in a bowl game that won 5-6 games the entire season. And yet Jackson State, Alabama State, and, some of these other teams that have won 9-10 games only, like, you got to find, like, they got to find more bowl games for these HBCUs. Like, I get, like, the Celebration Bowl is great, but at the end of the day, man, come on, man. Like, Alabama State against Jackson State or something like that in a bowl game. Like, I don't think the Celebration Bowl should just be the only bowl game. But I will say this. It will continue to be the only HBCU bowl game if they have a turnout the way that it did. 26,000 people at the Celebration Bowl is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, folks. Said call-ins next show, T. Yeah, that'll be call-ins. There'll be call-ins next show. Ravens versus Rams would probably make for an interesting Super Bowl. Yeah, probably would be. I wouldn't mind seeing the Denver Broncos and the Rams. I know that I heard a lot of Saints fans like, damn, Sean Payton in the Super Bowl with another team. Y'all seen Olave hitting that bean and weenie in the end zone. I thought he hit the Dougie. I don't know. I thought he hit that Dougie. Let's see. Saints defense dominated Carolina in the second half. I agree. TJ, is the Philly fan base worse than the Knicks or Boston? All of them up there, man. All of them up there. Like, Knicks, any Boston team. Like, I'm sorry. Celtics, New England, like Red Sox, like all of them. Like, they love sport. Like, they live and die by that stuff. Like I said, they live vicariously through those teams. HBCUs, that's why they not getting more bowl games, TJ. I just feel like that's just unfair. Like, you got Alabama State, Jackson State winning 9 to 10 games in the season, and they can't go nowhere. Like, that ain't fair. You got teams that go like have only 5 or 6 victories. I think I read one team end up going to a bowl game. They only won 5 games, and they got a bowl bid. Rams can go to the Super Bowl and have a top 10 pick is crazy. East Coast fans are rough. Yeah, they are rough, man. The Memphis Grizzlies, oh my God. Warrior fans since Steph got there. Yeah, I mean, look, when your team is winning, you get this level of arrogance about yourself. Don't act like we weren't arrogant at one time, Saints fans. No, let's not act like we weren't arrogant when they had Breeze and Peyton, and we knew that the Saints were going to win 12 or 13 games in the season and win the division more than likely. Like, come on, man, winning and being on top and grandstanding sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get a little arrogant. Let's not act like we weren't arrogant during that time. Like, we were a little bit unbearable. I mean, but that just happens when you win. You passed up my question, bro. I'm sorry, Steven. Ask your question again, man. I promise you it's nothing personal. I'll just be like just strolling down. Let's see. Bring back the fetch fetch monster. A lot of talk about Derek Carr maybe going to the Colts. And Phillip Rivers, man, he didn't look too bad, man. I mean, it was a close game. It's a close game for being honored in the Saints Hall of Fame class. Who we talking about, Jerry? I apologize. I don't know who we talking about. We talking about Tracy Porter or something? Shout out to Edna Carr on winning the state championship. Yeah, Edna Carr, man. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to my boy Chalupa, man. Band director over there. Shouts out to my boy Chalupa. Man, Jackson State's finest right there. Look, man, Chalupa has always had swag, man. And I just, man, them boys like used to eat, sleep, and breathe band. You hear me? It's good to see my boy Chalupa, man. He puts Edna Carr on the major stage, man. But Chalupa has always been a cool ass guy, man. So shouts out to my guy Chalupa, man, the band director over there at Edna Carr, man. And shouts out to Edna Carr again winning that championship. I mean, they looking like Louisiana royalty, man. Like, I mean, St. Aug and Edna Carr. I mean, bro, if you from the city, man, you know what that game meant. Like, you know what that game. They had more people at that state championship game than a Celebration Bowl. Did y'all hear what I said? They had more people at that state championship game, Edna Carr versus St. Aug, than at the Celebration Bowl. That tells you everything you need to know right there, man. That is New Orleans royalty right there. That's New Orleans royalty right there, man. Edna Carr, Edna Carr and St. Aug right there. Congratulations, Saints, for sweeping the Panthers, something the Falcons couldn't do. Yeah, man, I don't know what it is, man. It just seemed like Bryce Young just has the Falcons number. I mean, but today, this was the best game that Bryce Young has played against the Saints. I want to say he's like 1-6 against the Saints. I mean, look, but that was the best, that was the best game he played. They didn't win. Got to keep that in mind. They didn't win, but Bryce Young played well today. He wanted this football game. Yo, TJ, what's your thoughts about our team on going to get new 2026 schedule with Tyler Shough and Kellen Moore? Which one are the biggest primetime matchup schedule? I don't know. I don't know what the matchup going to be, but I think the Saints going to get primetime games if Tyler Shough continue to play the way that he has. And I think that this game right here, it's going to wake a lot of people up. First off, it was a 4:30 game. Like, we could talk about, oh, man, it's 4:30, man, nobody cares, Saints playing. But you got a 4:30 game. There was only a handful of games on. Like, everybody was watching Denver versus Green Bay. Everybody was watching that game. Everybody watching Detroit versus the Rams. But if you're watching the red zone, you're looking at what Tyler Shough is actually doing. And he going to win some people over, man, if he continue to play the way they ask. TJ, don't forget Steven's question about Kellen Moore. Let's go back, man. Let's go back. Let's see what Steven has to say here. All right, it says, how do you feel about Coach Kellen Moore and play calling on 3rd and 4th down? Also, he looked like he was real confident in Shough. Steven, that's a good point. I think that as the weeks have gone by, it seems like Tyler Shough is giving Kellen Moore more confidence in his play calling because he's making a believer out of him. But as far as didn't like that 4th and 1 call taking points off the board. That could have came back and backfired on the New Orleans Saints. That could have came back and backfired on the New Orleans Saints, Steven. Like, I don't believe in taking points off the board. Now, it worked out in the Saints' favor. But we're talking about kicking a field goal, you got to keep in mind what happened on the next drive. The Saints forced Carolina to a 3-and-out. So we're talking about the New Orleans Saints, who kicked the field goal, down 17-13, getting the ball back, and they drove down the field. So now we're talking about the New Orleans Saints actually still getting 20, right? So I don't know, man. I don't believe we're taking points off the board right there, especially that we have seen the New Orleans Saints and show y'all the situations get stonewalled week after week. And the play call was terrible. It was terrible. I do not believe on a 4th and 1 situation, folks, getting in the gun. I just don't. We're talking about your quarterback being 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So you're basically getting the football. If it's a quarterback draw, you're talking about your quarterback getting the 3 or 4 yards that he has lost with basically being in a shotgun and also getting a first down. Now, we can talk about momentum and stuff like that and whatever. I just don't believe that, man. If we're talking about a 4th and 1, I just feel like the quarterback just needs to be under center. I did not like the play call. I did not like the play call. It didn't work. It didn't turn out to blow up in the Saints' face. But at the end of the day, I didn't like the play call. Didn't like the play call. Shouts out to Addison. Says, what do you think about the offensive line of Miami Hurricanes Francis Margoa. I like him a lot. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Saints draft him. Saints being 3-2 in the division, have to tip my hat to them. Yeah, man, I was just, I'm just happy that the Saints not quitting. TJ, you seen dude called Shaw that stay? Oh my goodness, yeah, I seen that. That he's called Shaw the state title by celebrating too early. I know the seniors were. Look, I'm gonna pray for that brother. I'm gonna pray for that brother because here's the thing, folks. He'll never get that moment back. I don't know if he's a senior or not. I pray that he's not. I pray that he's not a senior. But if that is your last game, state championship, you got to carry that for the rest of your life. You got to carry that for the rest of your life. I'm not going to knock that young man because he's young. And look, man, but and that's just an awful way to lose. I feel so terrible for that young man. Because the only thing he was just excited, man. Like, you play hard all season long, you get to the Superdome, you're playing in the championship, you're in victory, and then all of a sudden, like, you cost your team. Like, I just hope he's not a senior, man. You gotta carry that for the rest of your life. You gotta carry that for the rest of your life, man. TJ, I hate to say it, but it's probably time to bench Taysom. Yeah, man. Like Taysom Hill, great Saint Hall of Famer. In my opinion, one of the greatest overall football players of all time. Like, I'm not just saying that because he's a Saints player. I'm saying it because it's true. Find me an NFL player that has been as good at multiple positions in the last 30, 40 years than Taysom Hill. You can probably find, like, okay, you got Deion Sanders who played both ways, wide receiver, played a little bit, played cornerback really well. You had Cordell Stewart out there playing quarterback / everything, right? Like, but Taysom Hill plays every position that you ask him to play well. Every last one of them. Like, he has won games at the quarterback position. He has won game for the Saints playing the running back position. He has won game for the Saints by blocking kicks. He has won games for the New Orleans Saints by catching passes as a tight end. Taysom Hill, to me, is the greatest overall football player, or one of the greatest overall football players of all time. And it goes beyond the New Orleans Saints, because this is how you know Taysom Hill is special. Every NFL team is trying to do what the New Orleans Saints have done with Taysom Hill. Everybody is trying to find Taysom Hill. They are lining up tight ends in the backfield that are trying to do some of the things that the Saints have did with Taysom Hill. They're finding quarterbacks that they transition a wide receiver playing. Like, I mean, you saying that it's a little much, Nate, but I'm telling you, like, who can you name? I'm serious. Who, like, in 100 years, I'm talking about a football. This dude is the greatest overall football player. Like, think about it. It's not like, you like just throw somebody in there and be like, okay, man, just go out there and make a play. He makes plays at every position you put. Name a position that Taysom Hill has played that he hasn't made, like, found success or did. He has scored touchdowns as a running back. He has scored touchdowns as a quarterback. He has scored touchdowns on special teams. He has blocked kicks. How many players can you say has done that? I don't think this is hyperbole. I don't. I do not. Find me a player. Find me a player that has played multiple positions and has been successful at every position that the team has put him at. I'm just asking. This guy's played multiple positions and he has made plays at every last one of them. He is one of the greatest overall football players of all time. when you know a player is special, when you have other teams trying to replicate him. I'd never seen a player that wasn't special that a team wasn't trying to replicate. Like if he's not special, they're not trying to replicate him. Every team in the NFL has a package that resembles an athletic player on their football team that possesses a skill set similar to that of a Taysom Hill, and they put him in that position. You said not quarterback, but he has won football games as a starting quarterback for the Saints. He's not elite at one thing, but he is, versatility is that's what I'm saying. Like he does, like what you're asking him to do. Think about this. It is hard to play in a National Football League just playing one position alone. This man plays multiple positions, and at every position. Name a position that Taysom Hill has played in that you don't remember one play that he made at that position that didn't result in a big play. At tight end, he had 2 touchdowns in one game, I want to say, again, and a couple more. As a quarterback, he has scored touchdowns. As a running back, I mean, countless plays. Dragging guys. Like, come on, man. Like, find me a player. That's all I got to say. Like, find me a player that is as versatile and has been a better overall football player. I'm not talking about talent, right? I'm talking about overall. Like, you're asking him to do this, and it's like, dang, he's a difference maker. Taysom Hill is dead. Taysom Hill is dead. I mean, go take a look. Go take a look. Taysom Hill was what Tim Tebow should have been. Versatility and unselfishness, I agree. He should be in a ring. Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be in a Ring of Honor. He'll never make it to the Hall of Fame or nothing like that, but he definitely deserves to be in the Saints Ring of Honor. And I guarantee you, it's just one of those situations. I guarantee you, 30, 40 years from now, people are still going to be talking about Taysom Hill as a player. Like, they still going to be talking about him as a player. Now, he ain't going to be not a Hall of Fame, but they still going to be talking about, man, you remember that player Taysom Hill where they had him doing like a whole bunch of stuff and he was just good at all these different positions? He will be talked about. Like, there are, like, Taysom Hill has carved out a lane for himself. Taysom Hill probably has gotten other players who probably wouldn't even be in the NFL if Taysom Hill didn't exist. He got them on football teams because they can play a multifaceted of positions or they can do different things. So, yes, guy's a pioneer, whether people want to accept that or not. And he definitely is, to me, one of the greatest overall football players of all time. Overall football players playing multiple positions. But thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. Much love to you. Had a lot of fun doing this show. Hopefully you had just as much fun listening and viewing this podcast as I had given it to you. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. You can check out previous episodes available here on YouTube. You can also check me out on the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday at 8 p.m. here on YouTube. Also tomorrow, I'll be on 103.7 with my guy RP3 and company. I'll be on there talking about this Saints game. Shouts out to my guy Ray out there doing amazing things in Lafayette, Louisiana, man. And we're glad to be on the show with RP3 and company talking about the New Orleans Saints. That'll be on tomorrow. We'll also be having another episode here, the State of the Saints podcast, that will take place on tomorrow as well. You can follow me on X at TJAY Jones 8. Also, you can check out the State of the Saints podcast, man, on Yahoo Sports. You can check that out as well. And you can also you can check me out on Bleacher Report every single day. And I do what I call Saints Minute, where we break down some of the hottest topics pertaining to the New Orleans Saints. You can download the Bleacher Report app, select the New Orleans Saints, and you'll see this beautiful face every single day covering the New Orleans Saints, man. So thank you all for your support. Thank you all for the love that you all showed to the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all for sticking around throughout this season, man. It has not been the best season, but it's good to see that our guys in the black and gold are not giving up, that they fighting hard, man, and they trying to get these dubs, as many as they possibly can, to finish the season. Till next time, all I got to say is,
thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?